Again. So this is the free game episode. So get your pen, your paper, your notes app, your digital notebook, whatever it is when you write your notes, write it down because we're going to give y'all some gems.
From the beginning. We won't make you wait till the end.
Right. We're not going to sell you a course at the end of this.
No.
This is from experience, what we have learned from our own journeys, from other people's journeys. So we are here to share.
Yep.
Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
And we are back with the mimosas. Ding.
Our next episode, we should do a fall drink.
Yes, a little apple spice, pumpkin spice, something or another. Free game. What's if you had a new person coming to you and saying, Josh, I really want to do this business. What do you think I should do?
So if they're still working their 9 to 5, don't leave your 9 to 5. Don't leave your 9 to 5. Don't leave it until you can sustain what you're doing in your entrepreneurship business, whatever you're doing, on its own. That's key, because with this, it's not guaranteed you're going to have the same amount of clients or sales or whatever every single day. At least that 9 to 5 is going to keep funding things. If you need insurance, if you need your days off, we probably said this the last one, like it's helping.
Use your PTO days to run your business.
Yes.
Schedule yourself a week's vacation to start your business, but don't quit your job.
Do not quit your job. Another thing I would say is, like, try to, from the jump, like, separate your personal finances and your business finances.
Yes, do it now before you get started, because it's a mess trying to separate them.
Because if you're trying to get some business credit, although they say, like, oh, we don't check your personal credit, that's a lie. They check that. So try and keep that separate, because you're going to need to, if you don't have an accountant doing this for you, you have to figure out your own profit and loss statements. You're going to figure out how the money's coming in, where it's going, and, like, as quickly as it comes in, it leaves. Because depending on what you're doing, you need supplies. If you have a space, you have to pay rent. If you have a mobile service, you need gas and, like, to make sure your vehicle is equipped with whatever it needs. There's a lot of expenses. So first, don't quit. If you can help it, don't quit. And make sure to separate your finances. Look into business credit. Look into grants. There are so many grants, and don't fall for the grants that you have to pay for the grants in order to get the grants.
I need money, so I'm not going to pay
for an application
for more money.
There's so many free grants. Feel free to, like, message me. I've applied to so many. And
thank you for always sending me the links.
Yes, I will share, because they don't always apply to me. Like, I'll look up grants and it's like Black owned, LGBTQ ally, like, there's so many women, depending if you're in skincare, depending if you're in tech, like, there are so many grants.
It's like applying for scholarships when you're going to college.
So
now we apply for grants for our business.
Yep. And apply for the grants first before if you can help it, before you get into that loan category. Because, grants you don't have to pay back.
Right.
And there's this thing called Dun & Bradstreet. I'm not going to explain what it is right now, but it is very helpful to know.
We're not business coaches. We are just telling y'all from experience.
Dun & Bradstreet, DM me, whatever. I can, we could spell it out for you. But they help with, they do a lot of business stuff, and they will give you your credit rating on the business side too. So it's all these things that, like, everyone wants. What did Kevin Hart say? Everybody want to be famous. Don't nobody want to put the work in. Like, everybody want to have their own job and, this freedom. But you don't know what you don't know.
You don't. You find out real quick in business stuff.
And hard.
You find out real hard. Quick. Oh, you done fucked up.
Oh, yes. Get your EIN.
Get your EIN. Register your business.
Essentially, your social security number on your business side. So we're not business coaches, so I can't tell you if you should be an LLC or an S Corp or a sole proprietorship. I can't tell you that. Somebody will. You can Google it. figure out which one would be most beneficial for you. So you don't have to just be an LLC. There's so many different options for you.
Yeah.
So that's the legal part of it, because you want to make sure like it's all legit, because the government will come for their money.
Yes, like forget the fluff, forget Instagram, forget TikTok, forget all the fluffy shit. IRS. Like,
they don't play.
Like, don't play with them. They won't play with you.
And it's not as scary, right? Like,
it's really not.
It's not as really scary to like apply for these things, your trademark, like all that stuff.
We just didn't know.
Yeah.
And then you do it, and it's like, that's it.
That's all I had to do.
Like, and I've told this story on the podcast before, but when I registered my first business, because I just registered my second business earlier this year, which is me. When I registered or attempted to register my first business, I wanted it to be called MelasNation, because that is a childhood name. That is the name that my aunt gave me. And somebody had that name, and I was distraught. I was like, but that's my name. That's like, I created the logo. Like, so I had already put I knew the name. The name was personal to me. I created the logo. I was ready to make shirts. Luckily, I didn't pay for printing anything, because the person that I used to get my LLC from was like, unfortunately, we can't do that because there's someone in your state with the same exact name. So I had a little S on it, and that's that. But it can be something so small. Like, that was like the first thing that ever actually happened. I was like, but I'm just getting started. How does somebody already have my name? Like, I just didn't get it. And I'm like, all right, I can't harp on that. Like, I learned, that's one thing I definitely learned, is to let shit roll, because things happen all the fucking time. And if you get bent out of shape over something, the smallest thing going wrong, you're going to have some long, hard days.
Long. So, if 2020 teaches anything,
like,
pivot
and let that shit go.
Yes. Well, when we were starting the podcast, we wanted to call it Basic and Boujie, and there was another podcast called Boujie and Basic, and I don't think they're recording anymore. I haven't checked.
I don't know.
But we almost went. How many names did we try to think of? But we figured it out.
This is what felt right. So we continued. We took our name and we continued to go with it.
It's spelled differently.
That's it.
It's not the same.
It's like a G and a J, something like that. We changed up.
Whatever.
We're better. But there's like, I feel like there's so much that I want to say, but I don't want it to be long-winded about it, because y'all know I like to talk.
It's okay. We have a podcast.
I know. That's why we have a podcast, because we like to talk. Get yourself a mentor.
Yes.
And a business coach. Those are two different things. Those are two different people. A mentor that is in your space. So for you, a body sculpting mentor, a community of other women that are doing, other men and women that are doing body sculpting businesses. It's not you trying to copy off of somebody or whatever. It's you doing research on your business. You should know if there's a body sculpting business over here, and you should know where they are, because that's your competition, but you can also be learning from them. So do your research in the category of which you want to own this business, and see what's going on, see what's trending, see what people like, what people don't like. Read people's Google comments. Like, that's free game right there. That's free research. If somebody left a great comment, well, what was so great about it? Okay, well, we need to make sure that we implement that here.
Yep.
Oh, they had a bad experience. What didn't they like? Okay, well, we're going to make sure we don't do that here. Things like that. So I feel like getting a community is important, so you can see what's going on. We've talked about how this can be very lonely if you're not around people that can relate to it. That's not a lonely space if you're talking to other people that are in the same community as you. That's with your mentor and with your community. But then you need a business coach, and not a friend, a business coach that's going to say, do you have a budget for this? Do you have a budget for this? And we're meeting every quarter, and we're talking about how we are quarter one. What is the goal? Quarter two. How did quarter one go? And what is the goal for quarter two? Like, if you want a business, run the business. Treat it like a business.
Yes.
And do you have a marketing budget? Do you have a payroll budget? Do you have an event budget because you want to throw events in the space? Like, we all have all these amazing ideas.
Yep.
Most of our ideas cost money. So pick one and figure it out. Because I have tons of ideas. There's 100 million things I want to do, but I don't have $100 million to do them. So you pick something, you make it work.
I have a group of both virtual and in-person body sculptors, and we talk all the time. And none of us are from my feeling is we're not gatekeeping any information. Like, they're sharing their ups and downs just like I'm sharing our ups and downs. They're sharing, like,
y'all can be vulnerable with each other. Where,
yes, because we know exactly
how do you market this package
about
to sell it? Because I'm struggling with this part.
Like, how do you do your vacuum therapy? Because my way is different than her way. She learned different than me. But as you're taught a certain way to do something, whatever it is, and you evolve into what works best for you, what makes the most sense for you. So that's a community of women that we've been able to talk about it. Some of them are mobile, some of them have a studio, some of them are just starting off, some of them are like taking a break because it wasn't what it started off to be. So it's a group of people who know exactly what you're going through. It can help you, and I'm not saying help you in sales, like help you figure it out, because
like in business,
you all know that, and
like the structure of the business, and having people in different tiers. That way, it's like, I'm just getting started. The goal is for me to have space like this at brick and mortar. So of course I want to learn from you. But what worked? What didn't work? Or I thought that's what I wanted, but there's a girl that has a mobile version, and I think I like that better. Like, now you just expose that person to more options. Where when you first started, you didn't have that space. So maybe you didn't know what options you had. Maybe you only thought you could go to people's houses. Maybe you didn't know. I can get a bus and do it on a bus.
Yep.
I can go over here. Like, it's just you don't know what you don't know. And your regular, everyday best friend that you grew up with that's not in the same space as you has no idea, and she can't help you. No. Most of the time, she doesn't even know what the fuck you're talking about when you're venting, because she's not in the same space. So these people that are in this space is the same as you can relate to. Same thing when we do our Marco Polos. We're all entrepreneurs. Some of us working entrepreneurs, but we can all relate to what, like, all right, this is the goal. Like, we're about to hit Q4. We're all going to be on there like, all right, y'all, what's the goal? We have a community. I don't talk to some of my closest friends about the same things I talk to you guys about, because they just don't understand it.
Right.
That's just what it is.
That's not there every day.
Right. And that's weird, because I don't want to talk about business all the time either.
No.
Like, go ahead, tell me about your drama. Like, tell me about what's going on in your life. What are you doing? Because I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, just fill me in on your life. What else?
Something I said before is flyers.
Oh my God, yes.
Don't underestimate the power of a good flyer or a business card, and also do not just keep them at your place keep them in your car, so that when put them in your purse or your whatever you use, and put them in places. They are doing you no good sitting inside of your office or your house or whatever. Put them in places. Put them in...
I think every Starbucks I've gone into has a bulletin board.
A community board.
Yep. Put your cards on there. Put those little flag thingies where you pull one, like, put it on there.
You ever been to a gas station and there's a sticker near the gas pump? Get yourself some stickers.
They're going to be there for a long time.
With Nobody's a QR code.
Stickers off.
With a QR code.
Whose job is to take some stickers off?
They're not working.
Taking them off. Stick it on there.
Yep. When you go, there's the Starbucks on, I don't know how many I think there's multiple. I'm not going to just name one Starbucks. When you come up by the drive-thru, I don't know if you've seen like all the stickers and like their poles and like there's tons of people put their stickers up all the time. And Starbucks isn't taking it down. No. They're not even worried about that.
Do your thing.
So invest in some stickers and some flyers and some business cards and put them out. Like, they are doing you no good sitting in your office in a cute little, card holder.
Like, oh, look at my cute cards and my card holder that nobody has.
Nobody knows about.
Because they're living in your purse.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth is everything.
When you treat someone like they are your number one client or your number one sales.
Like, nobody else is in the room.
Nobody else
exists.
They're going to tell their friends about you. Just like they're going to tell their friends if you give them shitty service in any way. They're going to say, now, they might want to keep you for themselves. So there's a little bit of that.
There's a little bit of like, I don't want to shit. Because there's some people be gatekeeping. Yeah. Even in my world of IV hydration, where, I make you feel better and you feel great, but you don't want to tell your friends. Because you don't want your friends to come into the same space. There's enough for me to go around.
Yeah. I have like 2 clients that don't want to share what they're doing here because they want to keep me all to themselves.
I appreciate.
I love that, like, but please tell somebody.
Right. Because I need to continue to run this business to service you. So send your friends so that the doors are open.
Yeah. Or what you could do, I think I learned this from you, have them leave a review for you. That helps because that's living somewhere and someone now they didn't have to tell their best friend about you. Now they put it some public platform that someone else now knows about.
Leave me a good Google review so when the next person looks for body contouring near me, body sculpting near me, you come up and people read the Google reviews, y'all. Like they really do. And they're like, oh, okay, well, that person had a good experience. Or they keep talking about how Josh was amazing. Or they keep talking about how Ashley was amazing. Okay, well, let me go ahead and get the service. Let me at least try it. Even if you get to try it. And then you'll learn how to turn those try it people into, like, no, you're going to come back.
Oh, reviews. If you have Vagaro, Boulevard, whatever booking service you have, Bookie or Booksy, whatever. Don't have them leave your reviews there.
Don't use those reviews.
We learned
Nobody
the hard
sees
way.
them.
we learned the hard way. Yes.
They don't see them.
We had so many reviews on the app that we used to use. We switched over to a whole other platform. Those reviews are gone. At least I rewrote them and put them in our like stories. Yeah. So they're living somewhere else, but tell them to leave you a Google review or a Yelp review. That's where it's gonna live there everywhere. So now we have like 3 or 4 that scroll on our new platform, but all those reviews that we had on our old, gone. They're just gone forever.
No, Google is the way.
Yep.
Google is definitely the way. Back to the money situation and separating them. QuickBooks is what I use, and I absolutely love it. Like,
do they have a free version?
They do have a free version. I'm doing like the basic version right now because it's currently calculating what I'm getting, what I'm receiving, and how much estimated taxes I need to put out. Okay. And then they have like digital envelopes where you can move that money. So like the way the system is set up is really user friendly, and I really liked it. When I first signed up, I think it was like $15 a month, and now I think it's like up to $30.
Okay.
But it's still the basic tier, and I'm pretty sure they have a free version. But that was given to me by, again, another independent contractor that was in the same space as me and was like, well, how are you doing their taxes and this, that, and the third? And I was like, I'm kind of doing them like manually and just like jotting things down. She was like, oh no, she actually gave me the information to her accountant. Her accountant was the one that told me about QuickBooks and gave me all that knowledge, and that was all free game. Another person in the same space as me, I didn't know what I was doing. She helped me out. Her accountant helped me out, and that's that. And he's like, if you want to hire me and I can go through everything, then we can do it together. And if not, well, this is what you should at least do so that you're ready for the end of the year. I probably would have never figured that one out. Like, I would have been still writing things down. So it's just simple things like that. An attorney, if you can afford an attorney. Like, we need to figure out how to afford an attorney, because there's a lot of things that go on that you don't want to have to handle.
No.
Like, get yourself an attorney. What can you do? What can't you do? What can you do? Look up your state laws. What does Pennsylvania allow you to do? Or like, there's a lot of people on social media offering services they're not qualified to offer.
Yes.
There's a lot of people. Like, I mean, there's one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. I can't remember her name, but I believe she's an esthetician, or she promotes that she's an esthetician, makeup artist. I don't know if she's licensed or not, but I'm scrolling, minding my business, and I see the same person selling liquid lipo injections, like the ones we do at the lounge. But so she's showing people how to use it. So in my mind, I'm like, so you're selling this to people to do at home? Who are you to tell people to self-inject? Who are you ordering these medications through? Who's allowing you to use their medical license to buy these medications? Because I know what goes on in the background, so I have a lot of questions.
To self-inject?
To self-inject these liquid lipo shots so that you can lose inches and all that. Like, number one, yes, the shots work. But you need to be careful. Like, you guys vet who you're going to for these services. You walk into the lounge, our nursing licenses are on display. People ask me if I'm a nurse. I do not get offended by that. You should ask. Because every IV hydration place in Philly is not serviced by registered nurses. Some of them allow medical assistants to put an IV in. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I don't know if they're allowed to. I'm not going to go into that because I'm not 100% sure. I know in the hospital they were, because they go through some type of specialized training. I don't know in a med spa space if that's still okay. I don't know in Pennsylvania law if that's outside of their scope of practice or not. But I know that people have a preference, and some people prefer a nurse putting their IV in over a medical assistant. If that is your preference, then you should ask. Because there are some IV hydration places that they are not being run by a nurse. So ask questions. Ask questions.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Right. Because I remember there was one client in particular. She waited for me to do everything, and she said, "Are you a nurse?" I said, "What if I told you I learned this on YouTube?" And she just looked at me. I was like, "I didn't learn this on YouTube." I said, "I did not learn this on YouTube." But and however, you don't know me, and you let me do all of this and attach IV fluids to you, and you have no idea who I am. So in the future, I want you to advocate for yourself. Like, this is all for me to get you to not be afraid to ask those questions. I'm not going to be offended by it. Advocate for yourself. And she was like, "You're right," because I would have freaked the fuck out.
I would have ripped that. Oh my god.
Yeah, like you don't know. Like, thank you for coming into the space and just trusting that I say that I am who I am and that I'm going to treat you right and I'm going to do all these things. But also, you need to ask, because you're not walking into University of Penn. You're not walking into Jefferson. You're not walking into a medical facility where you know people are licensed there. You don't know. I sit at the front desk. I could be a receptionist. You don't know. Like, when you walk in, you see me, you talk to me, I get you your paperwork, and then I get you in the back and I do your vitals. Like, well, am I the receptionist or the nurse? The only way to know is to ask. Ask me. I'm not going to be offended by that.
Talking about, like, so wherever you're sitting, right, you could be in scrubs. I work scrubs here occasionally. I'm not a nurse, right?
Environmental science, aka housekeeping at the hospital, the last hospital I worked at, they wear scrubs too. They don't make them a medical professional. Scrubs are sold by. You can buy scrubs from. You can buy scrubs from Walmart.
Scrubs from DD's.
You can buy scrubs from anywhere. That'll be shit.
But another thing with promoting yourself, I wear my shirt. I wear Glam Studios shirt when I'm out, like, running errands as much as possible. I'll wear, like, Glam Studios, because I've gone to doctor's appointments with my uncle or my parents, and a nurse has asked me, like, do you do body sculpting? Yes, I do. Here's my card.
Somebody could have been thinking about it, and now you just promoted that.
Yep. I'll get people, like, when I'm paying tolls, they'll see my shirt. Like, it's especially if, like, you're exchanging money and you're getting change. That's an interaction there. So I always wear my shirt, and I have business cards, and I have flyers on me all the time. So if you ever see me out, I'm usually in a shirt. And I'm pretty sure to have business cards, because I am putting them out. Out.
When I wear my like hydration, like when I did my hydration Barbie shirt,
and people ask you about it.
So many people were like, "Oh, well, what are you?"
Yep.
Oh, and then I have like a drip nurse shirt, and there was a lady who's like, "You're the ones that does the thing with the." Yes, I insert IVs. Yes, absolutely. But it reminds people, like, "Oh, I wanted to do that," and now you came in as a walking billboard, and you just said, "I can do that for you."
Yep.
Like, I still wear my brands. I still love my little brands. But primarily, I'm either wearing Basic and Boujie or Basic Boujie podcast, whatever shirt, MelasNation, Elite Infusion.
If we go out to brunch, like, we're dressed,
right?
But if we go out, if I'm running to Walmart because I go,
I'm wearing my brand.
Yes,
I'm like, I was gonna make a shirt the other day. I said, I make stuff. Like, but what do you make? And in the back, like, shirts, tumblers, blah blah, event decor. Like, I make stuff. That's whatever you want.
That's a good idea.
Like, I make stuff, and then on the what is it that you make, and then a list of things on the back. And it's like, if I'm gonna wear a brand and I'm gonna want somebody to read something off of me, it's something that's gonna come back to me, or spark that conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe it's somebody that's like, "Oh my god, I wanted to start that business. Can I ask you?" Sure. Absolutely. Why not? Come get a service, and you can see how it all works.
Yep.
Like, now you got a sale, and now you got somebody in your community.
Someone had asked, like, are you doing trainings? Which we're doing one-on-one trainings. I'm not doing this group training thing. Okay. I think it's too much pressure, personally, to do, like, if I'm a teacher. I'm not a teacher, but I know what I'm doing. I'm certified to do it. I'm certified to teach it. I can teach it. So we'll do like one-on-one.
Small class.
I think you get that personal, like, the person, if you have a quiet person who doesn't like to ask questions because they might think that it's a stupid question, they're going to feel more comfortable on a one-on-one basis to ask you instead of in front of a class.
Lost in a classroom or behind because they're embarrassed to speak up or whatever. So go for it, one-on-one.
So
I like that. I like that a lot.
Something you had said at the other... Oh, before I get to that. Some social media free game. Everyone talks about trending audio.
Like, what is it? How do you get it?
The sweet spot is that 5K. If a trending audio is around that 5K. So I've heard, and so I've done. So if you don't know how to do trending audio, you go to a reel, and if it has an arrow that's pointing like slightly up, like in a like a
it's like
diagonal, whatever. Right?
I'm about to draw it.
So click that. You'll get that trending audio and every video that's been used with that trending audio. But if you see it up top again, click it again, which you'll see it again. Perfect.
The arrow looks like this guy.
So so you click it once when it's on the bottom of the reel that you're looking at. Click it again what's at the top of all the all the reels that use that trending audio. That's going to give you the top 50 trending audio.
I don't think I knew this. I'm going to test it out.
Yeah. So it'll give you everything from, and it's like 50K to like, 3K. So you can use any of those, but the sweet spot is that 5K. Okay. And usually get more views from using an audio around there. Because if you're looking at something that's 50K, you've probably seen that a million times already.
You can probably think off the top of your head every time you open TikTok or Instagram, there is a song that you hear over and over again. That is a trending sound.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if you've noticed that TikTok has kind of gone from the dancing and like recreating voice over type stuff to being more tutorial and being your own voiceover. Whether you use like one of those like cute voices or funny voices, but it's like less about all those dancing challenges to like, this is what I'm doing, this is how you do this, come blah 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 with me, like all that stuff. It's been all that. I've seen a lot more of that than so I think you can use it wisely in that sense where teach people how to make a cup, a shirt, whatever's the most trending thing that's in your Etsy shop.
A small viral moment on TikTok. Hold on.
Small viral moment.
But it was on an educational video. So there's something called sublimation, so this shirt is like, you can do sublimation. It's printed onto the shirt versus vinyl. So if you're looking for a sublimation printer, they're really expensive. Well, of course, me, frugal with certain things. I found on YouTube University a way to convert an inkjet printer into a sublimation printer by getting a certain specific ink, blah, 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 blah. So a sublimation printer can cost you almost like $1,000, just give or take about $1,000, a good one. The inkjet printer that I bought to convert cost me $250. So, and then the ink cost me, the ink, paper, and everything else, I'm going to say, so about $300 total, and I got the same exact thing that I would have gotten if it was like $1,000. So I show people how to do it, and that one went, I think I got $15,000 on that.
Nice.
But just even what you were saying as far as the like teaching, there's been people that have asked me like, do you teach this? Do you do tutorials? Do you have a YouTube? And I'm like, well, I don't, but I feel like maybe I should start because I have people that are asking me. And I think now I'm in a space that I don't mind showing people, where before I'm like, I'm not showing you because I'm still learning. What if you steal my ideas? Well, back to what I always say is, what's for me is always going to be for me. So I'll show you how to do it too. Yeah, this one. So this one's at 15K.
Okay.
But it's just like, I did a voiceover on it and I showed people exactly what I used. There's no affiliate links. There's no nothing. It's just like, I'm just showing you how I did it and you can do it too. Like, this video is saved that many times. Like, look, can you send me to the link? Like, this just came through as we're talking right now.
Yeah.
Like, because then on top of that, it's how do you get the best picture printed. So I printed like 20 things before I got it right, and then I figured out how to configure my printer. So that was a question about that. that I didn't figure that out on my own. YouTube helped me with that. So now when people ask me how I did it, I send them that YouTube link. I'm not trying to make money off of you. I'm genuinely helping you because nobody helped me and I figured it out.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So that goes to inspiration, because I feel like you're doing something, you're sharing genuinely, and someone else is going to pick up from that if that was something that they were interested in doing. Like if someone I know is doing really well doing, let's say, Instagram templates, like they'll share how they did that with me, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I could do that. I can figure that out. I'm not saying I'm making $10,000 from like making templates for Instagram, but it's something that someone inspired you. You are also someone else's inspiration. Absolutely. And they're going to come to you because you're showing from like nuts to bolts, like everything that you're doing. You're not hiding or saying, oh, click this link so you can pay me to get this information.
I taught myself. I figured it out. I did the research. I understand that people do the research and they want to get paid for the work that they have put in. However, I feel like that's another job for me to try to create an ebook to sell these people this stuff. So this is how I did it, y'all. And that's it. Like, if I get into a space where I'm like, okay, this is a lot of questions and maybe, but a couple questions here or there don't warrant me turning this into an ebook.
Right.
Like, no. Here's
when
the link.
When it's time, it's time. But right now, if that's not what you want to do, because it's, again, it's not passive, because you have to do the work to do it. Yeah. Well, the last thing I want to say is something that you mentioned before too, is when you say like, oh, she's doing something else, what else is she doing? Well, guess who that bothers? The people who are not doing shit. So
not me, because I'm busy.
Right. The people will see, oh, she's working over here, she's doing this, she's making this, she's helping this, she's wow, she's doing so much. That's amazing. I can't imagine looking at something and being like, fucking, yo, can you just stop doing things? Why? Why does that bother you?
You're so upset.
If that bothers you, it's because...
Get off your phone.
Kyle says it all the time, like, the mirror is up to you. If that bothers you, that's something in you that has nothing to do with that other person.
I cannot be concerned with how other people feel about me and the things that I do, because my people are my people.
Yes.
So they're not going nowhere. I am 35, oh my God. I am 35 years old. I have friendships 20 plus years. I've never been questioned by those people. The people that have something to say are typically people that don't know me, or that are sitting on their couch or in their bedrooms and scrolling and watching me live my life and trying to figure it out. Instead of figuring out their own lives, they're trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing.
And if it bothers you, like, just don't follow.
Unfollow.
Like, it's
unsubscribe.
It's super easy. And I'm not talking like... If something that we're doing bothers you, if something we're doing bothers you, don't follow us. It's like, fine with me. Yeah. But anybody else, like there was someone I followed, and it was bothering me how I know that's not her.
Oh, yes.
The persona that she's putting on is not the person that I met. Right? That bothered me. Is it something in me? Well, now I don't got to follow you because I don't want to feel that way.
It's your social media. Like, you can do whatever you want.
So...
No, I've definitely
if something bothers you that you see, just unfollow.
I've unfollowed people because I'm like, oh, all right, I don't want to see this anymore.
Or if you think they're going to feel some type of way because they know you and you know them, mute them. They don't know they're muted. They just know you didn't comment on their stuff, so maybe they don't mute them. It doesn't matter. Then physically go in and say something if you want to. Happy birthday, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Like, people put too much on social media. I remember there was a stripper I was following. So, I was following this stripper because I was like, this stripper is bad. Like, I want to see her. Like, I want to see if she's, like, practicing at home, what she's working out. Like, what is she doing? And she started posting about her kids. I don't want to see her kids. I did not follow the stripper to see her day-to-day life. So I unfollowed her because I didn't want to see that. My social media is what I want to see. Yeah. And because I have several pages, I don't even follow the same people on the same pages. On the podcast page, I feel like we follow mostly people that genuinely listen to us, as well as other podcasters, because it's okay to follow people in your community and collab with each other. for the podcast page. On my shop page, I follow other crafters, other DIYers, blah, 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 blah. On my nurse page, I follow other nurses that are doing the types of things that I want to do. So each one of my pages is curated to the things that I want to see. Mm-hmm. And then I have my I am Melanie. That's all the things that I like. So it doesn't have to make sense to anybody.
That's just a hodgepodge of stuff.
Right. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll follow the Shade Room this week. All right, y'all getting on my nerves. Me and the Shade Room have a very toxic relationship. Sometimes I follow them, and then sometimes I don't, because it depends on what they're talking about. Like, it's just it's whatever you make it. And if you're annoyed by somebody else's social media, like, that's, again, put the mirror to your face. You're annoyed with yourself, not me.
And just unfollow,
like,
mute, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Put your phone down, go outside, take a walk.
Do anything else. It's fine. There's so much to be done. I think that's all my free game tips. Yeah.
I did have one more thing, and it was just like, when you think about starting a business, I think we think about it, we have this idea, and we're like, we want to do this business and blah, 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 blah. I think people need to figure out, do you want to own the business and operate it? Or do you want to own it and have other people operate it and be hands off? Are you going to work in the bit? Like, there's so many ways to entrepreneurship. Yes. So let's say 10 years down the line, my shop now has a storefront, and that's all beautiful. I have said it 100 million times. I don't want a standalone brick and mortar type of business. If MelasNation becomes a boutique somewhere, Mela won't be there, because I want to own that boutique, but I don't want to operate the boutique. I don't think that people think that part through.
I would agree.
So I want to start a gym, because I want to be a personal trainer, and I'm going to start a gym. Think about what that really entails. That means you are going into this space to work every day to be the sole personal trainer for each one of your clients. That's going to get exhausting. So figure out, am I going to be a solopreneur, solo entrepreneur, the owner, the operator, the everything to it? Maybe I will be for the first year or two. And then I'll get a budget to have a team. Because everybody needs a team. Most businesses don't start off with a team. You're a one-man show. I say it to Siobhan all the time. You're a one-man show. You do everything. You do it all. The goal is to grow so that you don't have to do it all, so that you do have that freedom. I'm impatient. I don't want those years to go by, so I'll just work on me and let everybody else do all the other things. Because again, with all the things that I do, people are always coming to me like, girl, you need to just open your own med spa.
No, not your thing.
No, it's not my thing. No. And the more that I work in these spaces, the more I'm like, absolutely not. Like, no, I will come in and I will help, and I will create content for you, and I will do all the beautiful things, but I don't want to be part of the laying the bricks down of the business. I'm good. I'm tired.
When we opened here, we knew we'd be the owners and operators. What a lot of people, I'll include myself, you don't realize, you're also janitorial. You're also advertising. You're marketing. You're social media. You're your accountant. You're your attorney. You are your promoter. That's a totally different thing, right? You're collaborating. You're the networker. You're everything, and you have to, like you said, are you going to invest in having a team to take some of this stuff off of you? Or are you really going to do it all your own?
And be prepared. Like, be realistic. Be realistic with yourself.
Yes.
Like, everything you just mentioned, I did, I think, on Friday. I think I did everything. So, Siobhan's on vacation. So, this week, I just did 3 days at the lounge. But I was by myself. So, everything is on me. So, people come in. They talk to me. I give them the paperwork. I go through any medical issues. I'm going through the allergies. I am doing their vital signs, putting the IV in, going to make them a cup of tea or make them a cup of water, also making their IV hydration bag, coming back in, setting them up, monitoring them. Maybe the phone's gonna ring. Gotta walk up front and get the phone. Excuse me 1 second. Like, there's multiple things happening in one person. On top of that, okay, let's say there's nobody coming in. So now I'm researching and creating social media and doing all that. So that's a whole nother aspect of what I'm doing. So now I'm creating social media to get people in. People coming in from businesses next door. Hey, what do you do? So now I'm creating that dialogue and networking and having those conversations with these people. Then I'm creating social media to get people in. People coming in from businesses next door. Hey, what do you do? So now I'm creating that dialogue and networking and having those conversations with these people. Then I'm creating social media to get people in. People coming in from businesses next door. Hey, what do you do? So now I'm creating that dialogue and networking and having those conversations with these people. Friday, I knew we're not going to be here Saturday, so let me go in there and clean up. I cleaned everything up in the lab, looked at all the meds, went through all the expiration dates, go in the bathroom. I was like, this bathroom is gross. Go clean the bathroom. Like, how many jobs did I just mention? Then we also have something that you don't know until you know. Because we're a commercial space, nobody comes to get our trash. And we haven't started paying anybody to come get the trash.
Yep.
Guess who pulls the trash? Me.
Yep.
So I grabbed the trash can, I'm ripping up the boxes. I got a bag of trash in the back of my car right now that needs to go into somebody's random ass dumpster. Like, how many rows did I just list?
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep.
You want to do all that? Because if you don't, you got to figure it out.
So, and that's a space.
Business plan.
Like a space,
That
right?
is a space.
So let's talk about if you want to create something digitally. Now, you can do all that and you can make a really good living. I know people who actually make like they don't have a full-time job. That is their full-time job and they are doing well at it.
And
you have to
hours, and people think that they can create something in 5 minutes and it's going to sell.
And
that
then,
takes hours.
And they've pivoted from what they were doing before. So now they have to create whatever it is, like create it and then promote it. How are they best promoting it? Is it TikTok? Is it YouTube? Is it Instagram? Is it
It might be all
Facebook?
of those platforms.
Mentorship, going back real quick before I forget this. On Facebook, there's groups that you can join.
I feel like
that
are
like
those groups now. Yeah.
So, anyway, but if you don't have a space that you have to do all the things that you mentioned, that I mentioned, but you're doing something digitally, you have to create it. And like, there are things that will sell a lot better because they look like this, because they use a different font or color scheme or picture than this, and it could be the same exact content. It's just a different font, color scheme.
The photo was taken. It could be the smallest thing. They have a bigger following. One person shared it, whatever the case is. That something took off and something didn't. I have recreated things that I know are top sellers, that I know have gone viral, and I've gotten no sales. It just wasn't for me. That wasn't for me to create. I was like, let me try it. If it works, cool. If it don't, I got myself an extra cup, as if I need another fucking cup in my house. But like, it's just that's just what it is. And
this is it by no way to discourage anyone. It's to go into something
just being
realistic,
like being realistic.
Because
it's beautiful to dream, but have a plan.
Yes, yeah. Because we have this space. Personally, is a 3-year lease. After 3 years, I'm going to be like, I don't want this space anymore. I want a smaller space or a bigger space, or I want to go mobile, or I don't want to do this shit anymore.
You might not be the operator by then. So, by then, you might have somebody that's like, you know what? I really want to do, what if somebody comes and says, I really want to do body contouring, but I don't even have the bandwidth to start a business. Can I be your employee?
Yeah.
I'll bring people in here.
Yeah.
I'll post on social media. Like, there's not a lot of people like that out there, but there are a good amount of people out there that are on their solo. I'll create content. This episode is already longer than I wanted it to be, but it's like content creating. Content creating is a job.
It's a whole.
I went on Indeed and typed in content creating Philadelphia. These jobs are paying $80,000 a year to go into someone's space 4 or 5 days a week and create and take pictures and videos and post them on Instagram. Oh, okay. Like, there's a job.
We had a social media team doing our stuff, and I learned a lot from them. The trending audio thing, using your front-facing camera instead of use this side of your camera instead of this side of your camera.
That's the best one. That's the clarity. But we want to see ourselves.
Yeah. Using an app, like get either a desktop, laptop, or a tablet, an app to mirror. If you really want to see yourself,
you can.
Like, you can see yourself. The lighting, like there's these little block lights that you can use instead of if you don't have natural lighting, instead of like the fluorescent lighting.
Huge ring light where it has all these lighting things. I'm like, I'll just stick one of those in a window and I got light now. There's so much that goes into content that you don't think. I'm gonna pop up a reel real quick. 5 hours later. Nope. Boomerangs are good for a little bit, but they're not. They're not showing everything that you can show. And being a content creator, I mean, We're officially content creators now. We're officially content creators.
It's a lot of work.
It's like, and the reels can't just be like, oh, just fluff. People want, you have to grab people's attention more now, because nobody, myself included, I have a very short attention span. So it's like, what are you doing? If you don't tell me in the first 5 seconds what I'm seeing, you're lost
and
me.
7 seconds apparently is like another sweet spot. 7 seconds. Because it's gonna loop it again real quick. You get another view right there. Like,
a free game from our creative director. Starting and ending the reel the same way, because when they get to the end and it loops, they don't realize they're at the end.
Yep.
I was like, fucking mind was blown.
Yeah.
When I did that with he created that with one of my reels, and that was like one of my best ones, because people didn't realize that it was over and you were watching me again.
Transitions.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there's a really dumb reel that I have that's 20K plus views of me and Kyle painting ceramic pumpkins. And because I use transitions and a trending audio is why we got to 20K. We're painting pumpkins on a date night.
Real regular.
That's it. So you never you never know. You never know. So I hope you've enjoyed all this free game.
I hope so. I hope you've learned something. If you are in a similar space as us and you have free game, leave us some free game. We love to learn.
And we'll share with the people.
Well, and we're recording from Glam Studios.
Yeah, our new space.
And we can invite more people that we don't know, because you may or may not know that we were recording from my apartment. And I want to expand to talk to more people, but I also want to stay safe. So here we are. And then people can get to see all the amazing thing that Joss does, and all the contouring and all the body sculpting that happens in this place.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll do like a little tour.
Yeah. Come with me to Glam Studio. Yeah. And you need an updated one, because you have some some furniture.
The janitorial staff is here.
she don't gotta clean the outside, but she gotta clean the inside.
I gotta clean the inside.
All right. Well, do you have anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Well, that is a wrap on this episode.
Bye.